Why do some ideas spread like wildfire, while others, even brilliant ones, die in obscurity? Why can we all perfectly recall a silly urban legend we heard years ago, but we forget the details of a critical presentation just moments after we leave the meeting? It's one of the most important questions in the world. Being able to make your ideas stick, whether you're a leader, a teacher, a parent, or an artist, is the key to making an impact. But most of us fail. We fail because we suffer from a cognitive bias that the authors Chip and Dan Heath call the curse of knowledge. Once we know something, it becomes almost impossible for us to imagine what it was like to not know it. We get bogged down in nuance, in details, in jargon, and we fail to communicate our core message in a way that can be heard and remembered. In their classic and incredibly useful book Made to Stick, the Heath brothers act as mythbusters and detectives. They spent years studying the anatomy of sticky ideas, from ancient fables to modern ad campaigns, to find the common underlying patterns. And they discovered that memorable ideas, no matter the subject, all tend to share 6 key principles. Today on Geeky Philosopher, we are going to learn this secret recipe. This is a journey to decode the very DNA of a memorable idea. This is the science and the art of making your ideas stick. The first and most important principle is simplicity. But this does not mean dumbing down your ideas. It means finding the absolute unbreakable core of your message. The Heath brothers compare a sticky idea to a proverb. A proverb is a single, short sentence, but it contains a world of wisdom. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. It's short, it's profound, and you will never forget it. The challenge is that to find the core, you have to be a master of exclusion. You have to be willing to cut away a mountain of good and interesting ideas to leave only the single, most important idea. This is incredibly difficult for experts who are trapped by the curse of knowledge. They want to share everything they know. A brilliant example of this is the story of Southwest Airlines. For years, their core simple message was, "We are the low-fare airline." This one simple idea became the filter for every single decision the company made. When a flight attendant suggested they should add a chicken salad to a route, the CEO, Herb Kelleher, would ask a simple question. Will adding a chicken salad help us be the low-fare airline? The answer was no. So they didn't do it. This simple, core message allowed the entire organization to stay focused and aligned. To make your own ideas simple, you have to find your core message. You have to strip your idea down to its most critical essence. You have to find the one single thing you want your audience to remember above all else. A simple idea is not a simplistic idea. It is an elegant and powerful distillation of truth. The first enemy of any idea is the human brain's autopilot. We are constantly bombarded with information, and our brains have learned to ignore most of it. So how do you get someone's attention? You have to break a pattern. The second principle is unexpectedness. Our brains are prediction machines. They are constantly guessing what's going to happen next. When our predictions are correct, we don't pay attention. When our predictions are wrong, our brain's attention system kicks into high gear. It says, "Whoa, what was that? I need to figure this out." The best way to get attention is to surprise people. But it's not just about a cheap gimmick. The surprise must be relevant to your core message. The Heath brothers say the goal is to break someone's guessing machine and then fix it. Think about a Nordstrom department store. They are famous for their customer service. But the idea, "we have great customer service," is a boring, expected message. So they tell an unexpected story. They tell the true story of the customer who tried to return a set of tires to Nordstrom. The punchline, Nordstrom has never sold tires. But the clerk, understanding the core mission, accepted the return and gave the man his money back. That story is completely unexpected. It breaks your guessing machine. And in the process, it delivers the core message, "We have legendary customer service," in a way that is unforgettable. To make your ideas unexpected, you have to first identify the core message you want to communicate. Then you have to figure out what is the most counterintuitive or surprising aspect of that message. Find the part of your idea that is contrary to common sense and lead with that. The next principle is concreteness. Our brains are not designed to understand abstract language. For millions of years we evolved to deal with concrete things. Rocks, trees, lions, berries. Abstract mission statements, synergies, and paradigms just bounce off our brains. Sticky ideas are almost always expressed in concrete sensory language. They are full of things you can see, hear, and touch. Aesop's fables have survived for 2,500 years for this reason. He didn't just say, "It's foolish to belittle something you can't have." That's abstract and forgettable. He told a concrete story about a fox, some grapes, and the memorable phrase, sour grapes. The concrete story is what makes the abstract moral stick. This is why we say, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, not, it is better to hold on to a certain present gain than to risk it for a potentially larger but uncertain future gain. To make your ideas concrete, you have to avoid jargon and abstract language. You have to ground your ideas in the real world. Use simple, sensory details. Talk about real people doing real things. A concrete idea is one that everyone can grasp and remember, regardless of their level of expertise. It's about building a shared mental picture. For an idea to stick, people have to believe it. This is the principle of credibility. How do you make an idea credible? The most obvious way is to use an authority, like an expert or a celebrity. But we don't always have access to a famous expert. The Heath brothers show us that there are other, often more powerful sources of credibility. One is the use of vivid details. When an idea is filled with specific, concrete details, it feels more real and more believable, even if we don't know the source. Another is to use statistics. But not just any statistics, you must use them to illustrate a relationship, to make a point more human. The statement, "There are millions of stars in our galaxy," is abstract. The statement, "There are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on every beach on Earth," is a powerful, credible, and unforgettable comparison. But the most powerful source of credibility of all is what the authors call a testable credential. This is when you allow the audience to test the idea for themselves. A famous example is the Wendy's ad campaign from the 1980s, "Where's the beef?" They didn't just say, "Our hamburgers have more beef than our competitors." They invited the audience to look for themselves. This is a powerful way to build trust. You are not just asking people to believe you, you are giving them the tools to believe themselves. If you want your idea to stick, you have to make people feel something. This is the principle of emotions. The old saying is true, people may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Our rational brain is easily distracted, but our emotional brain pays close attention. So how do you make people feel? The most common mistake is to try and use a barrage of statistics. But as Mother Teresa famously said, "If I look at the mass, I will never act. If I look at the one, I will." The key is to appeal to the individual, not the abstract. Don't talk about the millions of people suffering from poverty. Tell the story of one specific individual person who is suffering. This is what triggers our empathy. Another powerful way to engage emotions is to appeal to a person's self-interest. But not just in a shallow way. You have to help them visualize what your idea can do for them. It's not about the features of your product, it's about the new and better person they will become by using it. And finally, you can appeal to a person's identity. We are all driven by a desire to be consistent with our own identity. If you can frame your message in a way that appeals to someone's sense of themselves as a good citizen or a smart investor, they will be far more likely to embrace it. To make an idea stick, you have to make it matter, and you make it matter by making people feel. The final and perhaps most powerful principle is stories. A story is like a mental flight simulator. It is a piece of information that is wrapped in a compelling, emotional, and concrete narrative. Stories are the ultimate sticky idea because they naturally contain all the other principles. They are concrete, they are emotional, they have unexpected twists, and they carry a simple, core message. A story is a form of mental transportation. When we are lost in a good story, we are not just passively listening, our brains are simulating the events. We are putting ourselves in the shoes of the protagonist, and this is why stories are so incredibly persuasive. When you just present someone with a set of facts, their inner lawyer comes out. They argue, they debate, they find flaws in your logic. But when you tell them a story, they relax. They enter the world of the story, and they are much more open to its message. A great story acts as a kind of Trojan horse for an idea. The audience invites the story in, and the idea comes along for the ride, slipping past their intellectual defenses and planting itself deep in their memory. So there you have it. The 6 principles of sticky ideas which form the handy acronym SUCCESS. Is your idea simple? Is it unexpected? Is it concrete? Is it credible? Is it emotional? Is it told in a story? Made to Stick is more than just a marketing book. It is a profound and practical guide to the art of communication. It is a toolkit for anyone who has a good idea and wants to make sure that it is heard, that it is remembered, and that it makes a difference. The world is full of brilliant ideas that are lost every day because they are communicated poorly. By using this simple checklist, you can ensure that your own important messages are not among them. This book is an invitation to become a more effective teacher, a more persuasive leader, and a more memorable storyteller. It is a call to take our own good ideas and to package them in a way that gives them the best possible chance to survive and to thrive in a noisy world. If you are a communicator, a creator, a thinker, if you are someone who believes that good ideas have the power to change the world, then you are a student of this work. Consider subscribing to Geeky Philosopher, where we are dedicated to exploring the ideas that are truly made to stick. Thank you for your time.